Is the major purpose and the only major purpose of reason to pursue our self-interest? The answer is no. And we learned something very important about this in a remarkable experiment in 1996. This came about in Parma, Italy, the home of Parmesan cheese and prosciutto di Parma. An equally important discovery was made there in 1996. What they found is that we all, both monkeys, they used the macaque monkeys at first, and people, have what are called mirror neurons, M-I-R-R-O-R. And let me explain briefly what that is. We have neurons that fire when we either perform an action, a complex action, such as drinking some water. Okay? Those neurons are firing. And in your brains, the same neurons would be firing because you saw me drink the water as if you drank the water. Okay? That is, they fire when you perform an action or you see someone else perform the same one. Okay? Very important. Now, those neurons happen to be connected directly via neural circuitry to the emotional regions of the brain. Why is that important? Because if you see somebody expressing joy and feeling joy, you can feel their joy because you know what it's like in your body. And if you see someone writhing in pain, you can feel their pain because you know what it's like in your body. Okay? We are biologically set up for empathy. Now, that doesn't mean we all have it equally, because our upbringing can either increase our empathy or decrease it, and so on. But we are biologically set up for empathy. Now, what that means is that a fair amount of our reason is about connecting empathetically with other people and cooperating with them. That is, it's not just about self-interest. So, why does any of this matter for politics? Why does it matter that our reason is largely unconscious, that it necessarily involves emotion, that it doesn't just directly fit the world, it goes through narratives, frames, metaphors, that it isn't abstract, that it's physical, and that it's as much about empathy as about self-interest? Why should that matter? Well, you're going to see it matters almost everywhere in politics. We need to look at real reason. Why? Because we need a new enlightenment. And what would that new enlightenment be like? It would start with a very important idea, and that is that empathy is the basis of our democracy. And this is an extremely important idea. It's come up in certain of Barack Obama's speeches, but it's especially been worked out by Lynn Hunt, who's a historian of the 18th century. 1750, it's beginning to get in there. How? Through novels, dramas, paintings, drawings of poor people oppressed by more powerful people, which arouse empathy. And it's through that you get the idea that poor people are the same as other people and deserve their empathy. And from that you get the notion that we are all created equal, that we are endowed by our creators with certain inalienable rights. Right? That's where that comes from. Our democracy is built on the idea of empathy. And carrying out that empathy is what laws do. What our Constitution is a way to carry out that empathy and to define a moral mission for our government. That's what this is about. To understand real reason, not Enlightenment reason, but real reason is to understand that. And we would train people to understand empathy, to increase empathy, so that we could understand each other better.